Welcome to the Visualize Meditations podcast, hosted by your friend Sasha Patil, a Chopra certified meditation teacher. The first step to creating the life of your dreams is to create a clear and compelling vision for what you want for the future. I'll be guiding you on visualization meditation so you can get clear on your deepest desires. Let's get started so you can turn your vision into a reality. Hello. Welcome back to the Visualize Meditations podcast. It's your gal pal Sasha, and I'm here. Let me paint the scene for you. I am currently on a wine tour heading back to Christchurch, and I have met this incredible person, Emily. Hello. And our souls have connected, and I have to interview her. So, hi, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here.
So, first question, how do we know each other?
We met a few hours ago through serendipity on this wine tour. We went on a wine tour last week and it was horrific. And I had very low stakes for today. But the second I got on the bus, I saw Sasha and I knew we would connect. I was like, she's another young solo female traveler and we are meant to hang out together.
We made eye contact and it just happened.
It just happened.
It just happened.
We're going to talk.
Oh my God. So what's your story?
What is my story?
Yeah.
I'm from the East Coast. After spending 10 years in the Bay Area, I spent 10 years in tech. And I recently quit my job and gave up my apartment. And I am traveling around the world, jobless and homeless for a year.
So same thing. That's how we connected, is we're both like, oh,
Exactly.
you're also traveling by yourself for an entire year. Okay, amazing. So we're also doing the same thing. Incredible. Except you quit your job.
Exactly. Yes, I am not working.
I did not quit my job. I have my own job and my own business, but you fully quit your job. What made you decide to quit your job versus just doing the whole digital nomad thing?
I went back and forth on it and it caused me a huge amount of anxiety because, as any single young woman knows, giving up your paycheck's a huge thing. You're relying solely on your savings and everything you've built in your nest egg. But I just felt really strongly that I needed a year where I wasn't stressed about anything and that I was committed to nothing and no one and just doing anything I want at any given moment.
Honestly, incredible. How are you, out of curiosity, how are you doing it? Did you just going through savings or what are you doing?
I saved to buy a house for 10 years and that I did not buy a house. So now that it's buying me an around the world trip. So the world is my house.
That's exactly how I feel about rent. People are like, how are you paying for this trip? And I'm like, well, I'm not paying for rent anymore. So I'm just paying for flights.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's the best house ever.
Yeah. So where have you been so far? What's your journey so far?
So my journey is 6 weeks in New Zealand. I'm about 2.5 weeks into my New Zealand travels. Very excited to be here. And then I head to Australia for a month before Asia for 6 months.
Oh my God. Although wait, but that's only 8 months out of the year though.
Then, yes, exactly. Then I head to Africa for 2 months. And then I stop over in the U.S. to see my 2.5-year-old niece who I cannot be away from for longer than that. And then I head down to South America.
That's so cute. Also, we got to figure out how we can overlap again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Does your 2.5-year-old niece want to go to some Disneyland in another country? Because I will be there.
Absolutely.
When are you going to see her? Will be summer?
Yeah. Well, in October, I'll see her.
Okay.
So it's quite a while that I'll see her. But I think you and I will overlap in Queenstown. So we should definitely get dinner in Queenstown.
Yeah, for real. Okay. So if you had 3 words to describe yourself, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Capable, independent, sassy.
After knowing you for 3 hours, it makes sense. Capable, independent, and sassy. I'm so obsessed with that.
Thank you.
Accurate. I've only known you for 3 hours though.
What are your words? I need to know your words now.
Oh, I don't know. I could give maybe 5. I'd say, okay, in no order.
Okay.
Honest, brave, fun/unhinged. Oh, I guess adventurous kind of goes with bold. Ambitious.
Okay. After knowing you only a few hours, I definitely agree with those as well. I love those. Good adjectives.
So something like that, maybe loyal or loving.
Yeah.
In there too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So those are however many, 7, 5 words, whatever. At some point, I'm going to answer all these questions myself. So it's a good practice for me.
All right. What else?
What's the best piece and the worst piece of advice you've ever received?
Ooh, this is a really good question. Best piece of advice. My older cousin, Jean Brown, Shout out to Jean Brown.
Shut up.
Always end on a high note, whether that's leaving a party, leaving a job, leaving a relationship, doing anything in life. Leave on a high note. Do not wait for it to run itself into the ground. I live and die by that. Worst piece of advice is kind of a double-edged sword. Don't wait to do anything. Do everything you can do now, which in a sense I do agree with. But I think of like my time in New Zealand. I'm grateful I waited until I had 6 weeks to explore it versus just coming until I had 4 or 5 days.
I literally have 12 days here and it's not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's a double-edged sword advice, but not always the best advice, but sometimes the best advice. So
Okay.
a little bit of both.
Good to know. Okay, so we're at the beginning of 2025. What was your biggest lesson of 2024?
Ooh, that's a good one. My biggest lesson is both follow my gut and you're a lot more than you think you are. I think in terms of like thinking of the personification of yourself, I think we tend to think the worst of ourselves and focus on our errors. Whereas the people that you love really see the whole of you. So I really learned to take a step back when I'm feeling anxious or feeling down about myself because you're so much more than the sum of your mistakes.
Oh, you're so much more than the sum of your mistakes. But also your mistakes make you because you learn so much from them.
100%.
What do you feel like was the biggest lesson you learned from a mistake? Which is not on the list of questions, but I'm just curious.
Ooh, biggest mistake. Probably like work mistakes, honestly. Making the same mistake twice. Not learning from my mistakes is a huge one. I think not owning up to my mistakes, a huge mantra I live by is that no one will ever find my mistakes. So just being really honest about when you are human and you do err.
Yeah. So you decided to do this like year of travel by yourself, solo female travel. What made you decide to just like up and quit your job out of nowhere as opposed to just like digital nomading or whatever? What's the difference for you? How did that happen?
Yeah, so I've had a little over a decade of career under my belt in tech, and I love my career. I love working in tech, but I felt really burnt out, and I knew if I was working while traveling, I would not be able to fully immerse myself and fully enjoy. So I have no mistakes quitting my job and just feeling like I can really do what I want at any given moment.
It's profound. And I feel like the more I'm on these travels, the more I'm meeting people who are doing that, who are just like up and deciding to start over and just experience new things and not get stuck in this like matrix box that the US puts us in of go to college, get a job, work a 9 to 5 until you die and then enjoy your life. It's no, you can just take a break and whatever. So you're doing this. These are kind of like not the questions I typically wrote, but you did a gap year at 18 and are also doing a gap year now at 33. What are your intentions going? What were the differences and intentions that you had going into both of these gap years?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So at 18, I had been away from home. So I went to summer camp every summer for at least 6 weeks, sleepaway camp. I was always a very independent child, but I think at 18, leaving, just wanting to experience something new, wanting to party, I was fascinated that I could drink beer in Central and South America at 18. Actually, I started my gap year at 17, so it was like even more fascinating to be like graduate high school early and to go do these things that other kids like never even dreamt of. And now at 33, it's much more intentional. You have a different budget, you have a different priority set. So really my intentions were to do solely what I want at any given moment, not what I think I should be doing and not what I think anyone else wants me to be doing, to make genuine connections, to leave every place better than I found it, and to be really open, whether that's discomfort or meeting people or experiencing things.
Yeah. And you feel like you're at the beginning of your like year of travel. Do you feel like that's your intention going into it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like I'm really the first note of doing what I solely want and not what I think I should be doing. I honor that every day. And the more I honor that, the more I'm rewarded, to be honest. Like every time I follow my gut and just do what I want to do, the better the day is.
Yeah, that was my intention going into this year too. Surrendering to the experience of what this year and this life has to offer. Just going into it, just being like, whatever is meant to happen is going to happen.
Exactly. And it's a beautiful thing. And I think so many women are afraid of it because we're told what we should be doing at any given age. And that's what we adhere to.
Exactly. I'm full. We're turning.
Roundabout.
Is there a childhood dream that still lives within you?
Coming to New Zealand, honestly, that was a childhood dream. And this is like a lifelong dream I'm fulfilling, which feels amazing. A lifelong dream of just solo traveling is always something I'm fulfilling.
Yeah. Is there like a goal you're working towards right now?
Being supremely light and happy.
Because you were living in outside of New York before.
Yeah, exactly. And I had moved from the Bay Area after 10 years. So I felt like I graduated college, I got into tech, and I really just started doing what I felt like I should have been doing and what my family wanted for me, what society told me I should be doing, and taking all the steps to success. And I did reach kind of career nirvana, so to speak, but it was not anything that was caught up to be. I was supremely anxious. I had put on so much weight. I was supremely unhealthy. And really, it was nothing that I was told it was going to be.
Do you feel like it's like an extreme difference between just like solo traveling by yourself and just like getting stuck and getting in this life barrier in New York?
Yeah. And I love New York. You and I are both from that area, so I know you understand this more than anyone, where you have this American dream where it's like, oh yeah, you're from New York.
Hustle until you die.
Hustle or die kind of thing. But it's really not all it's cracked up to be, especially as a woman. You just end up supremely anxious. You end up really unsatisfied. You end up being everything to everyone and nothing to yourself.
Wow. Okay. Is there a magic moment in your life or in this last year that you can just describe?
A magic moment.
A magic moment. Like something that's just like profoundly magic in your life.
Probably the first time my niece told me she loved me. I have a 2.5-year-old niece.
What was that like? What happened?
Forget what we were doing. I was babysitting her one day and just she was really learning to speak, like hitting all these like developmental milestones. And we were just having a supremely lovely afternoon of really nothing, like at the playground. And like at one point she turned to me and said, I love you, Emmy. And just that, more than anything or anyone telling me they loved me, that felt like magic to me.
Wow.
And I think that's also what really encouraged me to make the leap to travel, where I want to live a life that inspires my niece and young women, young girls everywhere to do what they want to do, regardless of what their life looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And your niece is how old?
2.5.
2.5. Oh, incredible. Also, this is also another thing. Do you have one of your tattoos that speaks the most to you?
Ooh. Yeah. Either my fern on my ribs. I have about a foot-long fern on my ribs. Ferns are one of the only plants that grows anywhere in the world. So they represent growth through adversity. And that really resonates with me. And I have a humpback whale on my right inner arm. And humpback whales, when the mother births her calf, she cannot dive down below the surface. So she has to stay with her calf at the surface of the water for about 10 to 12 months while he nurses, and she almost dies from losing all her fat stores. So that sacrifice for his family really resonates with me.
This is just a personal question that was not on the list, but I had to know. We were talking about the tattoos in the last couple hours, and I was just so curious. Is there something that you used to desire in your everyday life that's just like a now normal part of your life?
Caring less about what people think and what they say. I think you hear it all the time, like when you get to your 30s, this elusive phase of not caring what people think, and it takes work, but it's true to an extent. And not that I fully don't care what anyone thinks, but I care significantly less. And it feels really nice.
So it's just like a normal part of your life now, just like not giving a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
people's opinion holds a lot less weight than it used to.
Okay. And you feel like that just changed in your 30s?
Yeah. I think it comes with age, it comes with experience, it comes with making a lot of mistakes and hearing a lot of commentary from people you don't ask for commentary from.
Right. Okay. That's incredible. And I always hear this from people who are like 30s and 40s. They're just like, I just give less fucks now.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, I'm fucking stoked, dude. So I don't give a lot of fucks now. I can't imagine what I'm going to be like fucking 30 and 40 where I give 0 fucks.
I wish I was like you at 26 to just be able to like uproot my life and go. I would never have the bravery or the courage to do that. So you are very brave.
I appreciate that. I don't know. I think it's been instilled in me in a very young age, and this situation and this circumstance threw me the most outside of my comfort zone that I've ever been, and I'm like fully just embracing it. I've decided at the beginning of this year, I was sitting in a Tony Robbins event, and I'm like, okay, universe, I'm just going to surrender to the experience that you have for me. I'm going to surrender to the experience of what this year is, what this life is, and just fully embrace what you have meant for me, because clearly I'm not meant for the life that I've been in so far. And you just pulled me by the scruff of the neck and put me in a new life. And I am fully surrendering to that. And just, it's not that I'm not afraid, because I am afraid, but it's like feel fear and do it anyway. Like,
Exactly.
life is on the other side of fear. Like, and growth is on the other side of fear, and life begins on the other side of your comfort zone. So if this is outside of my comfort zone, like, I just know this is where the most growth is going to happen.
100%.
And that's where I've been. So I'm currently 26. If you could go back and talk to your 26-year-old self, what would you say?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'd tell her to stop fucking partying so much. That's for sure. I'd tell her not that it gets better, because life was really good when I was 26, but just you'll feel more like yourself, and you will grow into yourself, and every fear you have of what life will be and are you doing the right thing. And I would tell her that every choice you're making will make sense when you look back at it, because it does. And every choice that I had made, especially when I look at a lot of like personal things that have happened and like where I ended up moving back to the East Coast to be with my family, everything will make sense in the end. And just to trust your gut.
So everything falls into place exactly as the way it's supposed to.
100%. And you can't understand it while you're going through it. You can only understand in retrospect.
Right. So you just have to go through it while you're going through it.
100%.
That's what I'm going through right now, bitch.
Yeah, you go. So just enjoy it.
Exactly. Do you feel like you're feeling happy and fulfilled in life right now?
I'd say so. It took a lot of time to get here, but yeah, 100%.
What about it is like happy and fulfilling for you right now?
I have a really clear understanding of who I am and what it takes to make me happy, and my preferences and what I'm like, and just what I want to be doing and how I want to be spending my time.
What's incredible. Okay, last question. If future you were to come back to this moment right now and give you wisdom, what wisdom would you give yourself?
Be more spontaneous, have more fun, stop being so type A. One of my primary goals of this year is to meet type B Emily, and I've yet to meet her, but I know she's out there.
I could not relate more. I'm the most type A person I know, and it's so stressful not knowing where I'm going next. It's so stressful not knowing like what I have planned next. Like, I'm my Queenstown trip, like the next thing, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, or I have a little idea what I'm doing, but not having a plan is stressing me the fuck out. And I'm just so type A that you're in tech, like you're used to be in tech. Like,
exactly.
It's insanity, and just like it stresses me out to no end. So you're also trying to be like way more chill, go with the flow.
Exactly, 100%, which I think all women should be. I think as women, like, we're just so hardwired to be the planners and the organizers and to know what's next and lead the way, whether that's in front of, behind of a man, and just we should give that up and embrace what the universe has for us.
Maybe we're just like so conditioned as women to just have it all planned out and figure it out like a very masculine way, instead of just going with the flow as we should in our inherent nature.
Exactly, 100%. I think the feminine is very flowing and very soft and very divine, and I think we live in a masculine world that beats that out of us.
Yes, it does. Yes, it fucking does. That's what we're doing here this year. We're becoming more type A, more chill, more like, whatever's meant to happen is going to happen. It's fine. Everything's fine. I might be able to stress on the way because I don't know what the fuck is going to happen, but it's fine.
Exactly.
I'm going to surrender to the experience. And surrendering to the experience of met you, I literally knew. I saw you said your name and I was like, we're going to be friends. I know it.
I walked on the bus. I was like, she's a solo female traveler.
I know her, my friend.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for chatting with me.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being my friend after 3 hours?
Exactly. Thank you.
I know you, I love you, and we're gonna be pals.
Exactly.
Forever.
Friends for life now.
Friends for fucking life, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, bye. Bye. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Visualize Meditations podcast. Please follow, subscribe, leave a review, all of the good things. If you want to connect more, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Living Your Vision. So what are you waiting for? Get out there, create the life of your dreams, and we will see you next week.